Welcome to Collectors of the Coast. I am Cash. Today we're going to do another top 10 cards you should be playing in EDH that should see more play. The last video did really well. I would like to start doing these semi-regularly. If you have any comments for them about cards you think I should add, do put it in the comments. I did actually add in this video a couple of cards that people had mentioned in the last one. So yeah, I mean, I'm always up for comments from the audience and what's going on. The couple of them are just personal favorites of mine that I don't know why people don't play, but they always do well for me. So a couple of shoutouts really quickly before I start the video. Toronto EDH Club, my buddy Co is he's really trying to grow it. There is a link in the comments about it, and I just want to say a quick thank you to my patrons that always support the channel. And I have 5 or 6 that have been with me for a long time. In particular, that I just really wanted to say thank you guys for supporting us. So without talking any longer, I'm going to get into the list. So number 10 on my list, oh my god, number 10 on my list is Corvas Fury. This was suggested by an audience member. It is a Battle Bond rare. It has got a wheel effect. It's about $3 and it's in about 6,500 decks. Got a wheel effect on it, plus you get +1. Does damage to somebody equal to the cards in their hand, which is kind of cool. And just really good card in flashback decks. Savine in particular would be really good in that kind of deck. Lots of different decks you could use it in, and it just seems like it's a little bit underplayed for what it is. That is my number 10. Number 9 on the list. I'm gonna jump around here a little bit in my notes. Kind of did the list and then reordered them because I thought some things were a little high. So number 9 is a card I actually play a decent amount. It is Dregs of Sorrow. So Dregs of Sorrow is a 35-cent card. You can get it for almost nothing. Just in just over 1,000 decks on EDH Rec. It is a bit pricey to cast, I admit. It is a bit pricey to cast, but that never seems to be an issue when I actually play it. I get to kill a bunch of creatures. I get to refill my hand at a later part of the game. And I mean, unless you're playing against mono black decks and stuff, you usually can kill a bunch of creatures on the board. Oftentimes your opponent's commanders and stuff like that. Obviously not going to kill often the 5-color commander, would kill Kenrith. So really good card. 35 cents. Like I said, I mean, if you're on mono black, it is really easy to get to 8-10 mana. You have a Cable Coffers in your deck and it ramps you up really fast. And you get there, obviously, if you're playing a really competitive CEDH game and you're only make it to 5-6 mana before you die, then it's not the best, maybe. But in any kind of casual format, even sort of mid-range kind of power decks, pretty good card. So would recommend it. Like I said, costs you almost nothing to get. Really nice card. So number 8 on my list is a card that is on a criminally not played. This card is from Invasion. It is Jilt. Okay, this card is in 79 decks. I think they're all my decks. I don't know if anyone else is playing the card. Maybe I'm off on this one, but I don't think so. It's got great utility. One, you can bounce a card to someone's hand. You can also kill something else. So, as long as you have blue and red in your deck, you can kill stuff. Anytime I have a blue-red deck, Jilt is an auto-include for me. And it, honestly, almost never is a disappointing card for me. So, don't understand why this is not getting played more. Like I said, it costs nothing. Like I have 25 cents it costs, but honestly, you can probably find it for 10 cents if you look around enough. Someone will just throw it in because it's really not worth anything. So no one really playing this card. Good card. Should be playing it. So number 7 on my list. This starts to get kind of spicy coming up here. So Sakashima's Will. It is in 7,000 decks. It is 35 cents, guys. 35 cents. It is a rare. For 35 cents. It is a recent rare. This is not a bulk rare. This is a good rare. And if it was if it was in maybe 30,000 decks, I'd be okay. That's played enough. But it is in a commander game. You get to steal potentially someone's commander, or if they have one creature on the board, you get to steal that creature. Odds are there's going to be someone on the table with only one creature, especially if you play this at the right time. So it is great from just a steal standpoint. Number 2 on it. It is great. You can be like a finisher on the board. You got 1/7/7 and 10 1/1s. Now all your creatures are 7/7. If those have different effects on them, now you get to have the effects of all those creatures at the time. Just a really good card that should be getting played more, and people should be busted in different ways. I mean, I know I have it in one deck. I mean, it's great when I use it. So Number 7. Number 6 on the list, Mirror Maid. Mirror Maid, $3. This one is the most played of any card I have on this list. It is in 35,000 decks, but it should be in more. It is a card that is going to automatically make a copy of your best enchantment or artifact on the board. And unless they're legendary, it's going to be a copy. And there's not that many legendary artifacts and enchantments, so not a problem. A lot of good enchantments and stuff that you want to copy right now, and it is an auto. It's just an auto copy. How many times, would you even, turn 3, you're like, okay, I need a Soul Ring, a couple mana ramp, I get someone else's Soul Ring copy, I get 2 mana off it. So, and that's kind of your worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it's some busted, gives everything indestructible, gives everything flying, does all the crazy stuff. Best case scenario, you might get a Rhystic Study copy. There's just so many good ones that people are playing. Smothering Tithe, you're ramping up in mana. Just lots and lots of options. $3, only, not expensive to get. Copies artifacts and enchantments. Like if it was just the one, maybe I could see, but there's always a good artifact or enchantment on the board. Should be playing this card. If you're playing blue, as long as you can generate 2 blue mana reasonably, you should have this card in your deck. Okay. All right, we're getting into the real spicy ones. Number 5 is this is the most expensive card I think on the deck. So it's $7, $8. Constant Mists. Now, this is a Stronghold card. Hasn't been reprinted. I think it might have been in a World Championship deck. And if you're playing this in EDH, if you're playing any kind of landfall deck where you got lots of lands coming onto the battlefield, I know AC we have built, and AC goes bananas. But later in the game with AC, you have 20 mana, 20 land easily on the board. It doesn't take long to get to 20 with AC playing 2 lands, and it really ramps up. And this card is just an easy auto-include. Should be in every AC deck. Should be in anything that really ramps your mana really well. So mono green, where you're just mono green ramp, where you're playing big stuff. This thing keeps you alive. It can keep you alive multiple times. Being able to sacrifice a forest. I mean, often you have 6 forests. You only need 2 or 3 of them at that point of the game. It's a little later in the game. And this thing keeps you alive, and then you smash them on the rebound when they tap out to attack you. So really good card, Constant Mists. That fog effect is really underrated by a lot of people. People just don't play fog effects enough, and so often it is a game changer. So would recommend Constant Mists in your deck. $7, $10, whatever you get one for. You can probably get a worst copy maybe for 5 or 6. Really nice. So all right, number 4, Grand Coliseum. So this is a 5 mana producer. 5 mana color land. You can use it for no color mana later in the game, or like mid game when you have the colors of mana you need. It is $3. It hasn't been reprinted a ton. It is basically City of Brass. In some cases better than City of Brass, because City of Brass, I think you take damage whenever you tap it. This one you don't take damage when you tap it for colorless. It does come in tapped. Little bit of a downside, but there are things also that make your lands untap when you come in, so there is some options there. This card's really good. I play it in, I think I have 3 of them. I have them in like 3 decks because I have 3 of them, and honestly, just for how few options there are for reliable 5-color mana, I am amazed that this is not in more than 7,000 decks. Even in CDH, I could see getting this played in certain instances in those really competitive decks. But honestly, in any kind of somewhat casual format, this is an easy play. Should be getting it. Should be getting played more. Okay. Really spicy stuff here. Braid of Fire. This is a $10 card, $10-ish. It is in 8,000 decks, which is not nearly enough. This might be a top 2 or 3 mana rock in the game. You play it turn 2, turn 3 you get a mana back, turn 4 now you're ahead in mana, turn 5 you're getting 3 and you're playing giant things. Even if you've gotten mana screwed on your lands, you're being able to play a 6 casting cross creature. Absolutely bananas card. The price point a little high enough that maybe that's a little bit for somebody. Honestly, $10, like people are playing Force of Wills and stuff that are costing $50, and they're in tons of decks. So I don't think it's a big deal. Honestly, just ramps up. If you got red in your deck, this card is really good. If you got any kind of decent red, you're going to play it early, and later in the game, it's bananas. You're getting 5, 6, 8 mana. at that point if you get it out early. So Braid of Fire should be played more. Put it in your deck. You won't be disappointed. Okay. All right. Elvis Guidance is number 2. This is a card that is criminally not played. It is absolutely bananas. I have had 2 people recently ask me for deck lists of elves because they're making elves decks. Right now, I've been selling quite a bit on Marketplace and some of the sell sites. And Elvish Guidance, I've had 2 people ask me, and neither one have had Elvish Guidance in their deck list. Elvish Guidance is 50 cents, 35 to 50 cents. It has been reprinted, I think, once. I could be wrong. It hasn't been reprinted a ton. There, if you just look up Elf Commanders on Google, you'll see there's over 30 of them. There's one person made a list of 30 Elf deck commanders, like commanders worth building, and that's 30, and there's more than 30. There's another bunch of them. So Elf decks really popular, ramp well, easy to play, easy to put together, not expensive to make, really popular, and this is only in 7,000 of those decks. There's got to be, just on EDH Rec, I didn't do the research, there's got to be 100,000 Elf decks at least, and the fact that these aren't in every deck, if you have any way to untap your lands, there are elves and stuff that help you untap your lands. If you can do that, you ramp out to, sometimes you get in like, how easy it is to get elves on the board. Sometimes it's 5, 10, 15, 30 mana out of this thing. You get it a couple times, and you get your 10 elves on the board, and then you tap it and you untap it. You have almost infinite mana. There are ways to get basically infinite mana. It works really well with Seedborn Muse, where it'll untap your lands for you, and now you're ramping hard on other people's turns, and you can do goofy stuff. So I play it in every deck. I have 2 elf decks. I got a I don't know what it would be, maybe like an extended or like a modern elf deck, and I have a commander deck. It's in both of them, and it's never, almost basically never disappointing. I mean, even if you only have 1 or 2 elves on the board, it ramps you. So, and it's harder to kill than like someone wipes your elves, and you can only get a couple of very vanilla elves on the battlefield. Well, now you still have ramp. Really good. Okay. Number 1 on my list is a card that I have been very vocal about does not get enough play. If you've been watching my videos for a long time, if you are active with us on our Discord, it is a card that I have a little speculation on. I kind of started and then I kind of stopped, so I think I have like 30 or 40 of them. This card is called Portcullis. It has went up a little bit over the last couple years. It is maybe $1 now. It was a 50-cent card not long ago. It is comically underplayed for how good it is. It is a 4-mana artifact. Past 2 creatures on the battlefield, everything goes into the Portcullis. So basically stops new creatures from coming onto the battlefield. So if you have ability, if you have the best creature on the battlefield, even if you don't, you have 1 creature on the battlefield, and you have ways of putting stuff back in people's hands or killing them. This card is a great play. Really, really hard to deal with in any kind of deck. In any kind of deck where you're able to protect it at all, it's a locked up board lock, and you can just win the game. Like you can just wins the game. So really amazing card. The game becomes all about the Portcullis, dealing with it, which can be a bit of a pain. I know my family doesn't like the one deck I have it in sometimes because it gets a bit of a pain to deal with. But if you're in a competitor like even CEDH, this is a really good card and should be getting play. Okay. In any kind of stacks deck where you want to stack effects, you can use this effectively for yourself. So now, sometimes your opponents hold off on playing stuff because they don't want them to go to Portcullis or wait until they can get rid of it. You play your 5 or 6 or 8 creatures that go into the Portcullis, and then when you're ready, you kill the thing yourself. You now have 6, 8 creatures coming at the same time, and do all of their stack effects. Absolutely banana comboing and nastiness going on. Really good enter the board effects deck if you can do that. Really good card. So it costs you like nothing to get this card. Like I said, about $1. You can probably get a heavily played copy for 75 cents. Hasn't been reprinted. Don't think it's going to be reprinted anytime soon. If it's not reprinted in this next set coming up in Brothers War, then I don't see what it's going to be reprinted in the next couple of years. Don't think you're going to lose money buying it. And it is a really useful, fun card to play. That is my number 1, Portcullis. Buy it, play it, you'll love it. Thank you very much. If you are new to watching the channel, subscribe to the channel, help us out. put likes on our videos. If you watch the videos, just a reminder, everyone, put likes on them. Likes mean a lot. They may not mean a lot to you. They mean a lot to us. One, it makes us feel loved. Number two, the YouTube algorithm shares your videos a lot based on likes. If I get 50 likes on a video, usually we're talking 1,000 or more views. If I get 5 likes on a video, we're talking 30. It's just how it goes. So we want to get some likes on videos, so please help us with that. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave some comments about the video and maybe some cards you like in the comments below. Everyone have a magical day and take care.